Hello students, I created a Padlet for you centered around the question of how can I better communicate with others? And we're really going to focus on what tools and resources can you as a student use to communicate with your teacher and or your needs with your teacher. Like, have you ever said, I want an A, but she didn't give me an A, but I emailed her and she didn't give me that A? Well, oftentimes teachers don't know what you're asking because you use texting language or you didn't include the assignment name, and so she wasn't able to change the grade. So we're going to work on tools of how to make our emails clearer. Maybe you've said, what am I supposed to do with all these red and green lines on the Google Docs or the boxes that pop up in the Google suggestions? Well, we're going to talk about tools and resources on what to do with those lines. And then you might even say, I'm not even sure what the teacher wants. Well, these are going to be some tools to help you kind of piece together ways to ask and formulate questions to your teacher. So these are some tools to showcase your learning. Wakelet is a great way to kind of compile a portfolio. You can start collections of links and images and files. Flipgrid, many of you are familiar with. You record videos talking about what you learned. So if you want to talk about the life cycle of a penguin, you could record yourself talking about it on Flipgrid. Canva, you can make posters and logos and different types of posts, and it's got all sorts of really cool templates. And very similar to Canva is Adobe Creative Cloud Express, where you're using the same kind of template format, but they have some different templates, and then they have some different options like flyers and collages. Also on the Padlet, I created a section about how to communicate through email. Emailing through Schoology, because we use Schoology, and there's that email feature. There's also a video on how to email your teacher in Gmail, just the mechanics and the steps to do that. There is a video on how to create an email signature. Also just a video on email etiquette. What does a good email look like? How can you write a well-constructed email? And then finally in that column, another way is to communicate with your teacher is to use Remind. Many of your teachers have Remind, so make sure you join those and that you can use it to text your teacher if you have a quick question. There's also a section on the Padlet about communicating through Google Apps. Google Sites is one of the apps in the Google product that you can create a portfolio or a website. I have a video on the Google editing and suggesting tools where you can learn from the comments your teacher puts on the docs. They give you suggestions, and you can click that like you've read it. And then the editing lets your teacher not change, but kind of suggest different things. It's very similar, but like slightly different. There's also a video on Google Keep, which are basically virtual sticky notes that you can share and to make lists. There's a video on Google Chat, how to use it quickly to ask teachers questions. And so really, how is this going to help you, not just for this year, but for many years to come? Well, if you're able to communicate clearly, it helps you secure and keep a job. And if you're able to communicate clearly with others, you won't get frustrated over a misunderstanding. So you won't be going, I emailed her and she never emailed me back, or she didn't check that grade even though I told her. But if you're clear and polite in your emails, they're easier to understand. And then knowing a variety of communication tools, Canva and Flipgrid, you can decide which one is the best use for your project. Maybe it's your audience does better by listening, and so you'll use Flipgrid, or maybe you need kind of a poster for whatever you're trying to create, and so you can use Canva. So these are quite a few options that you have to help you become a better communicator. If you have any questions about the Padlet, please let me know. And I also have my image information of where I got my little clip art. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Have a good day.